Hey guys, what's going on? SpitBrix here, back for another LEGO Ninjago video, and today we'll be talking in detail about the upcoming arcade pod sets for the Season 12 line of LEGO Ninjago in 2020. Recently, we've gotten some very clear HD images of these upcoming sets, and so I figured that it was the perfect opportunity to share my thoughts on these sets, what I like about them, and what I definitely do not like about them. Also, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below after the video, so be sure to leave a comment. If we can go on to reach 2,000 likes on this video for this special occasion here of the 2020 sets, that would be awesome, and with that, let's jump right in. Starting off with Kai here, set number 71714. Right off the bat, you'll notice that the box design for these arcade pods is unlike anything we've really seen for Ninjago before, and I really like the design of the boxes. Came out very nice. Of course, it appropriately represents an arcade machine, and with that, you can see a lot of what you're getting in the set. We're going to be getting 2 minifigures in each set. As far as release date, you guys can expect to pick up this set January of 2020 in most locations. Of course, if you live in Europe and Canada, you may see this set on shelves a little bit early before 2020, but you may have to be a little bit lucky for that. If you follow the TV show episodes, it's very important for you to know that for Season 12, these arcade pods are going to be the primary means of transportation to the Prime Empire, which is basically going to be the digital video game where a lot of the battles are going to take place in this upcoming season for 2020. Remember how I was just talking about that there are 2 minifigures per set? Well, one of those is the avatar of the ninja, or basically the in-game character for the ninja. This one here is Kai. He's rocking some crazy blonde hair in which we've never seen, a head face print that reminds me a lot of Harumi, as well as a torso that I think looks really cool. It's very hot and sort of like a magma fire crackle that goes across the chest, which I think is pretty nice. Now the legs are what's kind of interesting. Those are the legs from Season 11 that we got in the Season 11 minifigures for Kai earlier in the 2019 summer wave. Now keep track of those legs, because it's very interesting to see how each of these arcade pods, the legs tell a totally different story. They're not very compatible, but I'll explain a little bit about that later. We'll move on to the Digi Kai minifigure here, or basically this is the new G, or the new ninja suit for the ninja here, the Digi suits. So this one here, Digi Kai, I love it. I think it looks great. I love the white arm on this minifigure in particular. Overall, the digital and cyber look of these minifigures, I think, look fantastic. We also see some of the pieces that go along with it, as well as that sword holder of the game controller piece, which I know a lot of people think that's a really cool piece. I personally agree with that as well. There's also that sort of health bar or HP bar that you can attach onto the back of the minifigures, in which I'm very curious about those. The arcade pod itself is a very interesting concept, to say the least. Right off the bat, though, I have to complain about the stickers on it. I mean, I guess LEGO couldn't really make a good print on such a large, big plastic piece, because you'll notice that it is really like one big molded piece for the primary build of the arcade pod, which is, I don't know, it's a peculiar choice. I don't know if I would have went that route, but it was probably the easiest way for LEGO, since then they could just change the color of it and put in some different stickers. Would have liked to see, you know, at least a little bit of printing on it, but I mean, those big stickers may be annoying, but I mean, it'll work out. Now here's where I really see a lot of resemblance to the battle pod sets that we got. Basically, it's a way of storing the components. You guys can see that the different pieces for the minifigure transformation into Kai's avatar are kind of attached onto the back wall there, and so it's easily accessible, but also you can store stuff in there, so it's almost like a carrying case for your Lego bricks if you want that. Now here's something that I absolutely love about these arcade pod sets for LEGO Ninjago, and that's that each one is pretty unique considering the minifigures that you get. Not only do you get the 2 minifigures for the $10 price point, but the accessories that they come with it, and the fact that we have exclusive minifigures in these sets, I think is fantastic. This minifigure here of Jay is my favorite avatar personally that I've seen from these sets. Jay's rocking a sort of disco vibe that I really like. He's got the white hair, the headband, and overall some really nice printing all together. Now look at the legs. These legs are the exact ones from the Digi J minifigure, which is the other minifigure in the set. So with this arcade pod for Jay here, you actually get 2 of the same leg prints, which I thought was kind of interesting, just with 2 different minifigures here. I believe that would come with 2 of that exact same leg piece, since both these minifigures have it. Here's an idea of the accessories that come with these 2 minifigures. He's got a guitar for this one. And once again, I think the color combinations are spot on with this minifigure. He also has a white arm similar to Kai. Now, to be honest, the build is very repetitive. However, if you think of arcade games, they are very similar in nature and how they're built, and I think that if you were to get all of the arcade pods for the 2020 line for Season 12 here of Ninjago together, I think that they fit very nicely. And also, one thing I wanted to mention is the sticker on the very front there that says Prime Empire if you wanted to encode that Ninjago language. However, if you compare this to the Kai pod that we just looked at, you'll see that his also has some Ninjago language on the side, and if you encode that, it actually says new. Jay's doesn't have that, so is Kai's the new arcade pod in the group? I thought this was kind of peculiar when I first saw it because Lloyd's doesn't have the new sticker on it either, it's just Kai's here, so that's kind of interesting. Here's a look at the structure and the inside of this pod here for Jay. And that will lead us into the last arcade pod. This is Lloyd's avatar arcade pod, and you may be wondering, well, what about the other ninja? Well, unfortunately, they don't get arcade pods. I guess LEGO realized it was going to get a little bit repetitive, but the avatars for Cole and Nia do come in the Gamers Market set, and so that's the other way you could pick up the avatars for those other ninja. Now, this minifigure here for the avatar of Lloyd is sort of a punk feel. Almost reminds me of a Sons of Garmadon member, as if Lloyd Garmadon here is actually trying to replicate a Sons of Garmadon look. He's got that sort of mohawk, golden mohawk for that. Now, I assume you were kind of confused on why in the world I've been talking about the legs of these minifigures so much in this video, but look at Lloyd's here. That's a brand new print. We've never seen those legs before. And so we go from Kai having the minifigure legs from Season 11 to Jay having the same minifigure legs as this year, or 2020 I should say, for Season 12. And then we have Lloyd here who gets a brand new print for his legs in a pearl gold color, which, interesting that all three of them, their legs come from different sources. And so with saying that, with the view of all three of these avatars that come in these arcade pods, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Which one of these three minifigures is your favorite? Just go comment down below the name of the ninja here that you think has the best avatar minifigure, so Kai, Jay, or Lloyd. Let me know what they comment. Now, moving back to Lloyd, as I realize that we haven't looked at the entire set yet, over on the left you guys can see the avatar, in the middle we have Digi Lloyd, and then some accessories over on the right. He's got a bat. The detailing stickers that go on this arcade pod are, in my opinion, the best out of the three. I love the golden dragon, that just looks great. As far as the build of it and the makeup, it's practically identical. We're just getting different minifigures, different colors, and different stickers. And ultimately, here are my final thoughts on these arcade pod sets. I think that for your money's worth of $10, this is a great pickup in order to get two minifigures in each of these sets, one of which is exclusive. The avatar of each of the ninja is completely exclusive to these sets here, and the fact that you can get it so affordably, these sets really just enable an easy way to collect a lot of minifigures from Season 12 from these sets of Ninjago, which I really like. Now, granted, the builds of these sets are very repetitive, but all in all, if you put them side by side, I think they'll end up looking very nice as they all complement each other, and it makes sense that they all look similar. They're all arcade games, after all. Continually, the fact that these sets have huge stickers all over them, and that's basically the main detailing of the arcade pods themselves, is quite disappointing, I'll be honest. However, in the end, they have great details on them, and I think they serve their purpose for it. Just make sure you don't put them on crooked or something, because then, your build will look funky, and we all know we all just don't like stickers that are misplaced. But at the end of the day, it's clear that these are unique. It's a brand new idea that LEGO's implemented for Ninjago. We haven't seen sets like these before, and that is what I really like. There's probably a lot of risk involved with LEGO making these really different sort of sets. It stems away from the spinners that we get all the time, and I really like that. We need to get a break from some of those spinners, because we do get those quite frequently. So I think this change up here will be very interesting to see exactly how these perform in stores. So with that being said, this is my score rating for these sets. I've broken it down into 3 different categories. You can score a maximum of 10 points per category. The first one is minifigures, then we'll look at the build, and then the value or the price that goes associated with the set. First off, for the minifigures, I gotta give these sets a 9, because I was not expecting to see 2 minifigures in a $10 set, in which one of those is exclusive, so I will give them almost the maximum amount of points for the minifigure selection. It's a great way to get some good figures. For the build, I'm gonna set it at an average 5. Although this new build concept is very interesting, the stickers are just not necessarily very appealing in my eyes. There's not much play features going on, but I think the minifigures kind of make up for that, so I'll set it at a solid 5. And then for value, I'm going to put it at a 7, and that's mostly carried by the minifigures, the fact you can get 2 really good minifigures for such a well-rounded price point of $10, and I think it fits very nicely. So overall, we have a score of 21 out of 30 possible points, which that is over 15, which is basically the cutoff of saying that these are either a pro or a con to the series. Since it's above 15, it's in that upper half, these would be considered, in my opinion, a pro to the wave of sets here for LEGO Ninjago Season 12. Also, just as a reminder, if we can reach 2,000 likes on this video, I will make a dedicated pro versus con video for the rest of the 2020 sets utilizing this ranking system here. We'll go through each one pretty fast, and I'll give you the rankings and determine if it is a pro or con for the season. And so those were my thoughts on these upcoming LEGO Ninjago 2020 sets, the arcade pods. Let me know down below if you guys think these sets are good or bad, or maybe just a little bit of both. For more LEGO Ninjago videos, click on the screen right now, and as always, I'm SpitBrix. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video coming very soon.